Hey yo, welcome to the Fourth Down Syndrome Downcast. Host here, Damon King Leo's with you. I think we have Zach here with us. He's driving though, so he's might be in and out. Zach, are you there?
Hey guys, it's me, Zach.
Okay, Zach's not there.
I
And
hate
then
black people.
Yeah, I'm here. I'm here. I'm just fucking moving a projectile down the highway at 80 miles an hour.
all right, so Zach's here with us, and then you heard old Billy Boner here. Billy, how are you?
I'm good.
Forgot to say the date. Downcast for Tuesday, November 28th. Today we're going to go over playoff scenarios, who's in and out. So that's pretty exciting. Well, at least for the people that are in or have a chance. Those of us that don't, it's not that exciting. Yeah, do you guys have anything you want to go over before I jump into the review?
No.
We'll take that as a double. No, I know Zach wants to jump in here soon, but
Yeah, I just wanted to say, fuck Crabtree, that fucking stupid nigger. He cost me my whole fucking season. Fuck him.
Crabtree, you should have heard me drafting in my other league. I screamed about him for like an hour.
Zach, was Crabtree responsible for all 7 consecutive losses, or?
No, but he definitely was responsible for the one that kept me out of the playoffs.
Fair enough. You still would have needed some help if you won, but I feel your pain almost. So let's review Week 12. Myself against the champ. WJ69ers wins 115.1 over King Leo's 84.3. Senor Hobo Dick Cheese takes down the Peppers of Justice with the top score 133.9 to 121.6. Let's see. We had 2 game of the weeks. So we'll do those last. We had Notorious Connor Bulge taking down Muff Divers, as we just heard about, 110.2 to 106.1. And Caitlin Jenner's Balls still keeping his division lead with a victory over Tebow Goshyard, 104.6 to 83.8. And in our 2 games of the week, we had Sunday Morning Boner take down Hammer of Thor, 119.9 to 110.9. And Had to Tell Her Twice took down Snatchville Lubricator, 102.3 to 100. So we had some close games, some good games, and some ones that really affect this last weekend of the season. You guys have anything to say about any of that?
No.
Zach, any more racial slurs you want to throw at us?
Yeah, I'm just fucking tired of these fucking niggers, you know? You're getting paid millions of dollars to go to work. And the first thing you do is you clock in, and you walk in, and you throw a fucking little tantrum and get fired when I needed you. Or you take a fucking knee and piss off all the customers at the store. Like, I don't know. I'm just fucking tired of these coons.
So the league is like 85-90% of them. Are you sure this is the right game for you, Zach?
Hey, hate the players, not the game. All right?
That's fair. That's fair.
You're gonna have to go full bill on us and draft a white team.
Rex Burkhead,
Rivers, McCaffrey, Jordy, Aaron Rodgers when he's back. I mean, Woodhead.
You'll be the first player to draft J.J. Watt.
You got Olsen. You got Kelsey. I mean, you can build a good white team. All kickers.
Well, it's just their impulse control, you know? They have no impulse control. I like professionals, especially when they're getting paid millions of dollars.
Well, that's true. Billy had a rant last time he was on.
I will grant you that white people hold on to the fucking football until they get into the end zone. You are correct there. Wait, no, I'm correct there. But also, that's black people's fault. Anyway.
All right, we'll have more time to vent about our losses going on here throughout this podcast. Let's really just let it out there. But moving on with the team of the week or top score of the week. Sorry, still team of the week from Devin. I don't want him to copyright me. We have Senior Hobo Dick Cheese with the top score for the first time, I think, this year. Maybe second he's gotten that. And then Skyler still holds on with the bad beat, 141.5. So good job, Sean. Also, with the badass move of the week, Meehan gets it for playing Rapey over Dak. The one bad white man I can think of, Rapelessberger, playing him over Dak not only secured him 28 points, but got him the victory and the top score of the week.
She wanted it.
And then as far as dumbass move of the week, we had so many that I couldn't pick just one. So let me just read off a few. We had Brad, who lost by 12 and didn't play Mixon or Robbie Anderson. Playing either of them would have secured his victory. We have the Hammer of Thor, Chris. If he would have just played old Hunter Henry over Olsen, he would have defeated Billy. We had Zachariah. If he wouldn't have played his boy Crabtree, he would have secured the victory over him if he put it in really anybody, Doxson or Cobb. We have Snatchville Lubricators, who could have just played, I don't know, you're stupid, Skyler. I really don't think you could have done any better. And then we have Tebow Goes Yard, who could have played Phillip Rivers, and granted it wouldn't have quite beat my brother. It would have come and combined for him. Oh, and then Burkhead. Rivers and Burkhead would have secured him a surefire victory, or Rivers in Tennessee. So lots of dumbass moves, lots of crushing blows to a lot of teams this week, which we'll talk about more here when we talk about who's in and out in just a minute. But that's it for the recap. Zach's on mute, so I'll go ahead and do the studs and duds. Normally he introduces it. But we got Billy here. I think we just have Billy and Brad for studs and duds. Since
hold on. Sorry, I just muted myself when I wasn't talking. All right, next up is our next segment called Studs and Duds, where we ask our guest, out of the players he drafted last year, which of those players were studs and which ones were duds. Billy?
Oh, hey. Okay. So, pretty much my entire team is Damon's former team. So I don't have a lot of drafted players, but I'm going to say my dud was Des Bryant. Even though Des is averaging like 9.8, he's been a tremendous letdown. He's, in my opinion, should be like a marquee wide receiver, but for whatever reason, he hasn't gotten it going. It's been frustrating. Fuck Des Bryant. He's my dud. As far as my stud of my drafted players, I'm going to go with, and this is kind of a fun one for me, Frank Gore. Frank Gore is 236 years old, and he's still getting it done. This week he had 15 points. He's been pivotal when I've swapped him in. I played him in the flex. I played him, when Marshawn got suspended for being stupid and black. I've used him a lot, and he's almost always produced. So I would say stud, Frank Gore, dud, Des Bryant.
Hey, I like that. That's pretty good. And to kind of piggyback off what you said about how a lot of your top players are my old players. Let's go. Let's run down the list. Ertz, Thielen, Lynch. It just goes to show that Crowell, who's actually improved a lot. I
might play him this week.
I panic traded after David Johnson went down, and I just didn't know what to do because I drafted around him. Now, maybe if I was even 2-1 in the first 3 weeks. Maybe if I just would have held pat and not freaked out like I did, but I'm trigger happy and I like trading. Who knows? Maybe ever since then, Billy's been on a tear, and that was about the beginning of my 7-game lose streak. A little after that, my players still had a couple bad weeks till they really bought into Billy's system. But but ever since then, they've been on a roll, and yeah. So I mean, good job, Billy.
You really wanted DeMarco Murray. You felt like he was going to produce. I felt like he was a piece of dog shit. I was more right than you were.
Clearly.
And you shouldn't have given up Zach Ertz, but I'm really grateful you did. So.
And the worst part is I remember I had to sell you on Zach Ertz because you were like, oh, I don't know about Zach Ertz. I was like, oh, he's the number one tight end. You're like, okay, I guess. And sure enough. Anyway, good job, Billy.
I don't think it went down exactly like that. It did. It probably
But good job, Billy. Our teams shortly after that trade, and we had another trade since then, our fates have switched drastically. So congratulations.
Well, when I'm in the playoffs, you can root for me, since I am pretty much your former team. How about that? He's on board. He just nodded.
As long as Bass doesn't make the playoffs, I think I'm okay. because I'm really mad about last year's championship.
Glad to have you on the boner train, damn it.
Anyway, let's move on to the Week 12 standings, so that way we can get into the fun part of the in and out and the playoffs. So Week 12 standings in the Champions Division, we have Caitlyn Jenner's Balls 8.5 and 6, WJ69ers 8.5 and 7, and myself King Leo's 3.5 and 9. In the Fuck Damon Division, we have Notorious Bulge 12.5 and 5, Los Pimentos de la Justica 11.5 and 5, and Senor Hobo Dick Cheese 10 and 5. In the Fuck You Division, we have Sunday Morning Boner 10 and 5, a Hammer of Thor 8 and 6, and Southwest Muff Divers 7 and 7. In the White Power Division, we have Snatchville Lubricator 11.5 and 5, Had to Tell Her Twice 11 and 5, and Tebow Goes Yard 6.5 and 7. Without looking at this, people probably, if you look at this, you can tell some players that are in and out, but I'll go over it now. But without hearing it, think in your head for a moment if you can figure out who's clinched a couple things and not, and then I'll go over it in just a moment. Without spoiling anything, Billy and Zach, would you like to say anything before I go into the who's ins and who's outs of it all?
No.
Yeah, you can. I don't give a fuck. Fuck the rest of them.
I don't give a shit. I don't give a fuck. Anyway, all right. Well, now we're moving on to the scenarios. Quick disclaimer. I was busy today, so I didn't break down all the scenarios. There's probably another 6 or 7 that I'm not going to go over, but I am going to hit all the most important ones that are going to matter the most. But anyway, moving forward, we have half the league that has their fate decided already. 2 teams that are in and 4 teams that are out. We have another 6 teams that it comes down to next week. So it's super exciting. So let's start with the out. Teams that are out of the playoffs, and no matter what happens, can go. All they can hope for is not taking last place and winning the consolation bracket and getting a top 3 pick. Those teams are myself, Chris Wilcox, the Hammer of Thor. He got Molniered by Billy last week and done for.
Hey, he's in my division.
Yep. You're going to find that as a common thread here. Daddy Boner, Bill Kleintop, he's out of the playoffs. He had a really small chance anyway, but after losing to last place, he is out. Pathetic way to go down, Bill, but it's all right. And then Zach, our resident 7-game losing streak hero, he is also out. Billy's division, Zach 7-game losing streak, Chris 3-game losing streak. Billy was able to capitalize off some pathetic losing.
Whoa, 6
unlike me, that's what I'm saying. You were able to win though. I had this going for the first 9 weeks of the season where my division was all losing and I had a chance, but I kept losing too. So good job, Billy. You actually won. So those are the players that are out of it. Here we're just playing for pride, $20, not last place, and a consolation championship. 2 teams that are in. We have our one and only team in the entire league that has already clinched his division. That is our guest, Sunday Billy Boner. Good job, Billy.
Baby Boner.
Sunday Baby Boner. Yes, he is clinched in.
An interesting little caveat to that is I've beat both the teams in my division, and I'm playing Billy again this week.
Yeah, I'm going to rest my starter, so you might win again. But
well, it's just funny that I can kick the shit out of the guys that end up going to the playoffs in my division. It's kind of fucky.
Zach, you had the mini version, and maybe now you had the worst version now of what Devin had earlier. Because Devin had a good high scoring team early in the year, but he was losing a lot of games. But then he just kept winning. You have a good high scoring team. You just had some bad beats and had some pathetic outings, and it's just been unlucky. But yeah,
Zach,
I just wanted to say, go ahead.
Well, I was going to say, legitimately, you really do have a good team. You did get some unlucky breaks. I still don't give a fuck, and I'm happy that I'm winning. But I acknowledge that you do have a good team. There's a good chance you beat me this week, but again, it doesn't fucking matter because I'm in and you're out. But
well, I just wanted to make one thing clear to everyone that's listening. Just because you're out of the playoffs doesn't mean there's not still a chance to win the $20 high point or high scoring.
Yeah, 100%.
Even though you're out of the runnings, doesn't mean you need to stop playing because there's still money up for grabs.
Oh yeah, yeah. Sorry to cut you off. 100%. That's why I really wanted to get. Not only is there money up for grabs, but whoever wins the consolation bracket is guaranteed no worse than the third pick. And so there's still a lot to play for. Also, not taking last place. That's another big thing that you're also playing for. So plenty to play for us losers.
Damon, what is the penalty again for last place?
It's just putting stickers up for everybody. I would like to make it a much worse penalty, but
so we're not doing the dunk.
No, I wanted to. Even though I was going to be the one that takes last place, I did want that, but it wasn't voted.
I would put my balls right in your face.
I would get everybody.
Again, am I right? Because he and I are good friends. Why do you think I have half his team?
But anyway, the other team that granted the other team that's in, because he still needs something to happen, but because two of the guys that need stuff to happen are playing, there's no way he doesn't get in, and that is Devin. Now Devin has not clinched the division or anything, but there's with Had to Tell Her Twice and Dick Cheese playing each other, one of them will lose, which secures Devin a playoff spot. So Devin is the other one, 100% in. So once again, where his finish is very up in air, but there's no way he doesn't make the playoffs either. So the two guys that have clinched is Billy and Devin. So tomorrow morning when you two are holding hands at work, maybe reach a little further and give some tugs to each other, but don't make them a little rough because you might be playing each other in the first round depending on what happens. So
Devin, let's dock, buddy, tomorrow morning.
Whoever finishes first loses the game, the playoff game if you play each other. But anyway, here's some scenarios of what needs to happen. So as far as in my division, the champions division, only one team will make it, and between Bass and my brother. If my brother wins, he's in. End of story. He plays me, so he's probably in. I would pretty much punch his ticket. However, if he loses and Bass wins, Bass is in. And then the champ sneaks in, and I would be very worried if I were a playoff team because he wins. But if my brother loses and Bass loses, it doesn't matter. My brother's in. So once again, my brother needs either to win or a Bass loss. Bass needs to win and for my brother to lose. So that's going to be a good one. Whoever wins, that's going to be the fourth seed as the lowest division winner. Billy's already got his division locked up. Now, as far as Snatchville Lubricator, or as far as the White Power division, we have Snatchville Lubricator and Had to Tell Her Twice. They're only a half game apart. Had to Tell Her Twice plays Dick Cheese. This is the game that matters the most and is the game of the week. If Had to Tell Her Twice beats Senior Hobo Dick Cheese, all the teams not mentioned yet are in the playoffs, and I'm sorry I didn't go over that. So the Peppers of Justice, Dick Cheese, Lubricator, Had to Tell Her Twice, those four teams are playing for the final three spots. If Dick Cheese needs the most luck to get in, but once again, if Had to Tell Her Twice beats Senior Hobo Dick Cheese is out. Peppers of Justice, Lubricator, Had to Tell Her Twice are all in. If Dick Cheese beats Had to Tell Her Twice and gets the full 1.5 and goes to 11.5 and 5, he's still going to need 11.5 and 6. Then he will knock Lee out. Yeah, so the winner of that game gets in. The winner of Dick Cheese and Lee gets in. So really that's the game that's going to affect it all. As far as winning divisions, if Devin wins, he doesn't need the half point. If Devin just wins, he wins his division, clinches the number 1 overall seed in the bye week.
Can I tell you what gives me a baby boner about that game?
Yeah.
They're both projected. Had to Tell Her Twice and Senior Hobo Dick Cheese are both projected right now at 106 on the nose. So you've got an equal projection for the playoffs. I don't know if both of them have their lineup set, but I just got kind of a small boner over that.
But yeah, let me just make sure I'm right on that. Yeah, because if he wins, just with just a straight win, he goes to 11-5 and he goes to 11-6. Yeah, and then if he wins, 12-5 to 10. Yeah, so yeah, that's the game. That's the game that affects it all. Brad wins, he's in. Skyler wins, he's in. It doesn't matter what happens with the twice Dick Cheese game. Brad needs to win with a Devin loss to win the division. Skyler just needs to win the division. Actually, if Skyler just wins, doesn't get the half, and Lee wins with the half, Lee would actually take over the division as long as he still had the points. So a lot of this won't be decided till the games are actually played. As far as I can't figure it out, I can't go full beautiful mind right now. So basically, for all these teams, winning is what you need to do. Just win, controlling your own destiny. But at the same time, it's so close. A lot of this that also losing really helps on other ends. But I would say Brad and Skyler are both pretty much in. It really just because Lee and Dick Cheese are playing, and honestly, those two are probably in just because those two are playing, which means yeah. So never mind. So I'm now changing it. Brad and Skyler actually have clinched playoff spots too. So we're going back to that. Really, it's between Lee and Dick Cheese. Whoever wins is in. Who loses is out.
More or less, you just need to give him that John Madden advice. Now you got to move the ball forward to score points.
Yes, exactly. So really, there's only 4 teams playing for 2 spots. The 4 teams playing for 2 spots is Bass and my brother for the division, and Lee and Senior Hobo Dick Cheese for the 6th seed. Once again, divisions can still change. Billy can still win, get his point and a half, have Skyler lose, and have Skyler lose and Lee lose, and still get the 2 seed.
So I need 2 people to lose.
Yeah, so you're going to need some help to get the 2 seed, but you can still do it. So I mean, the positions from 1, 2, 3, 5, and 6 are up in the air going into this last week. I guess 4 is up in the air too, because I guess it's my brother and Bass. Wonderful. Donovan Mitchell's phenomenal, in case anybody doesn't know. So really, every playoff spot is up in the air going into the last week, and we have 2 teams or 4 teams fighting for 2 spots. So there's a lot going on. So the teams that are in, Billy, Devin, Tug Buddies, and Peppers and Lubricator. Probably
a lot going on, a lot of moving parts. The rug really pulled the room together.
Yeah, that rug really holds the
That's just
room
like
together.
your opinion, man.
Fucking Asians are call him. God, it's the best movie ever. So anyway, yeah, I know I just skedaddled a bunch of BS to everybody.
I'm fucking confused.
I know I am too, but let me just break it down one last time. If you just hear this, you're in.
Oh God.
Teams that are out: myself, Chris Wilcox, Bill Kleintop, Zach Douglas. Teams that are in: Billy Kleintop, Devin Porter, Brad Pardue, Skyler Giorgio. Bass needs to win and my brother to lose to make it in. My brother just needs to win or Bass lose to make it in. Lee and Meehan are playing each other. Whoever wins that game is in. Whoever loses is out. That is it, broken down simply. And then once again, all the final positions will come out on next week's Downcast and everything. We'll get excited and ready for the playoffs. Get anyway. Let's move on to the Week 12 preview before my brain explodes. So the obvious game of the week for the Week 12 preview is the game that decides the last playoff spot, and that is Lee and Meehan. And Billy already alluded to projections being 106 apiece. It's gonna be real. If Lee can pull it off without Zeke, he hasn't lost in like 2 months. And you got Le'Veon Bell, you always got a chance. So I really don't know who's going to win. I'm going to give it to Lee since he's been rolling. I think he'll get in that last spot. Actually, I don't want Lee to get in. I want Meehan to get in. I'm picking Meehan because if Lee and Bass don't make the playoffs, then every team in the league will have missed the playoffs at least once, except for, I guess, Devin, but whatever. He's for sure count. Anyway, so I pick Meehan. What do you guys think?
I got to go with my boy Meehan. But I think Lee's going to win it. But, like I said, me and Sean got history working for the Jews.
Backroom blowjobs and all.
Who works for the Jews?
Me and Sean did for a while,
Me too.
and Damon.
Yeah, that's where we all met.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Interesting. How the fuck did Cousins end up on?
I told you I made a shitty trade with Lee, just like I made multiple with you. So yeah, Lee's got a good team.
All right. So to me, when I look at this matchup, it looks like I think both players have set their lineup. I don't think they're going to make any changes. I think 106 is the projection. I'm going to. This is a close one. I'm going to say. Yeah, I'm Hobo Dick Cheese wins this game. 2 reasons: Alshon Jeffrey and Kelsey's going to have a killer game. So I'm going Hobo Dick Cheese. Also, I need Lee to lose.
Yeah, let me tell you, those Chiefs, they've been tearing it up the last couple of weeks.
Yeah, just wait. Just wait.
All right. Next game. None of these games matter. These games will matter for positioning right here. Here's a big one. Oh, this game's actually for the division. This is a good one here. We have Los Pimentos de la Justica and the notorious Bulge there. Bulge is projected to win 123-101. This would be the second game of the week, I would think, if there was one, but it's not. Devin's the top scorer. He's the only person I actually made a good trade with, but as soon as Deshaun Watson went down, it was once again one-sided for the person I traded with. And so, yeah, you know what? Brad's been struggling recently. And Devin, I'm going to take Devin because he's just been rolling, and he's scary going into the playoffs. What about you guys? Who you picking?
Zach, you or me? I'll go.
I'll go with the Peppers of Justice.
Poor K.
He's done.
All right,
Go
we
ahead.
might have lost.
No, he just muted.
So,
He just picking Brad.
unfortunately, Keenan Allen is apparently the best fantasy football player of all time. Devin's run game is kind of ridiculous.
I know, it's fucked up. a good
Carson
team.
Wentz is an insane quarterback. Quite frankly, I fucking hate to say it, but Devin's team scares me. Sorry, Brad, you lose. Did Brad need to win this game to make the playoffs?
No, Brad's in because
Brad's already in.
Just because once remember I upped him and Skyler to in because one of these two. Same reason I upped Devin to in because one of these two had to lose, which means all 3 of these teams will have a better record than whichever team loses, even if they lose. Yeah. So they're auto in.
Brad, I would say rest your starters.
Well, no, because now if Brad wins and Devin loses, Brad takes the division and takes one of the bye weeks. So Brad, this is a big one.
It doesn't matter. Brad, you lost. I'm sorry. I ran into Brad. Side note, I ran into Brad Black Friday shopping.
Oh, nice.
At Best Buy. It was great. I was there with my missus. He was there with his missus. We had some small talk. It was pretty uneventful.
And then you guys just stopped looking at each other.
Yeah, and then we just kind of parted ways. It was really magical. But yeah, that's a fucking story that no one gives 2 shits about. Brad, you're gonna lose. I'm sorry, but I still really like you.
All right, moving on. We have our two friendlies here. Sunday Morning Boner and Southwest Muff Divers. This is a game that truly means nothing. Billy should just rest his starters. But it is currently projected. Actually, no, Billy's got to do all he can to get that bye week, too. So projections 107-107. I'm going to root for Zach to win because he needs it. You're already in. Rich don't need to get richer. You need people to lose to make it. You got a lot of work. So.
Can I ask you why he needs it?
Just so he can go out with a victory. He's lost 7 in a row. He's about to go fucking Holocaust on the blacks. Like,
yeah, but he was going to
Black Lives Matter. I'm here trying to save a life. It's hard to save a life. I'm picking Zach.
Picking Zach. Well, fuck you.
They get to throw tantrums and fight referees and stupid shit that fucks your team up.
Zach, you should play Crabtree.
Yeah, Zach still has. Oh no, he doesn't have him, man.
He's got Devontae Freeman coming back. I don't really give a fuck. It looks like you'll probably replace Freeman for Johnson. It doesn't really matter. I'm too deep. I could go Marvin Jones on your ass. I could go Devontae Adams, who's still producing. P. Ryan.
You go as deep as you can. Big go as deep as you can.
All 4.5 inches, baby. You're gonna get all of it. But again, this will just be like just like a pleasure fuck, because I don't need to butt fuck you. I'm just gonna do it.
Yeah, I know. There's no commitment. There's nothing on the line. There's no ring. I'm always the mistress, never the fucking wife.
Never the bride. Yeah. Either way, it'll be a good game. I think you have a decent team. I'm picking myself. Actually, I kind of hope I lose because I want a loss going into the playoffs because I believe in that shit.
Straighten your team up, get them refocused.
Yeah, they'll refocus, and then
that matters if you're undefeated or close to. Granted, you've won your division. You're certainly not anywhere in that realm. So I think your team's humble.
It'll definitely be a moral victory to end the season beating the guy that won the division. You know.
Who? No. I won the division. I don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah, that's what he's talking about for him.
Oh, yeah, I got you.
Trust me.
Yeah, I said it'd be a moral victory to beat you and, like, all that shit, so.
Half your team's just thankful they're not on my team and that they'll be going somewhere, so they'll play hard for you. You don't need a loss. So moving on to the next game, we have Snatch Your Lubricator and Tebow Goes Yard. If your dad was ever going to get a win for you, Billy, this would be it. Because if he could take down Snatch Your Lubricator and you could win, that would open up your opportunity to possibly get that bye week a lot more. Then it depends on what happens with Lee. And you also want Meehan to beat Lee at that point. But Skyler's projected to win 105-96. Skyler wins and he's in, and wins and he also locks down either the 1 or 2 spot. So, he's going to be playing tough. Bill has a chance to play spoiler, but I'm going to give it to Skyler. I just don't think it's going to happen, even though Kareem Hunt's not scoring 13, he's scoring 3.
Yeah, so I would say I actually think my dad's going to pull this off legitimately. My dad's got some badass players. For some reason, he still has Willie Snead in his lineup, but that's fine. Really, I look at Snatchville, and if AJ Green doesn't produce and Kareem has another terrible weekend like he's going to, I think my dad takes him. Howard's going to produce. I don't know. Yep. L Fitz. You got this, Dad.
Larry
Plus,
Legend.
I need you to.
The real Larry Legend. The black one.
Who's the white one?
Bird.
Oh, yeah. Bird.
That's why he's the real one.
Sorry, Dad. Sorry, Zach. I'm sure.
Zach, who do you pick? Zach, who do you pick? You there?
I'm picking old man Bill.
That's my guy.
Good. I hope Bill wins. I like spoilers. Next game, we got Caitlyn Jenner's balls and myself. He is projected to win by 1, and he has a player that's injured who he has to switch out. So that all sounds normal. I'm going to set a lineup because I have to, and chances are I still badly lose. But if I could tank a game, I would tank this one because a victory for my brother means Bass is out, and him not making the playoffs and basically being the same pathetic as me after what happened last season makes me happy. So I really, really, really hope that I lose, though I will set my best lineup, but I hope I lose. I'm picking my brother.
So just to clarify, probably the only really truly good human being in our entire league, you're rooting desperately.
Badly. If I prayed, I would pray for him to lose his ass and not make the playoffs. All of you in the playoffs, all 4 of you teams that are in and 2 that will be, should be praying for the same thing, because I promise you, if Bass gets into the playoffs, he will at worst get to the second round. At worst, which means whoever plays him in the first round will lose. But it won't be you, Billy, so I guess you can root for him because you will be division winner as well.
No, I don't want to see him
so
either.
it means that either Lee, Meehan, Devin, Brad, or Snatchville will lose to him.
Does anyone know if Bass has ever listened to a podcast or taken
No,
part?
he hasn't.
He has
ever.
not.
I've talked to him about it just a couple weeks ago. He's like, oh, I know.
Okay. Well, so yeah, for that reason and that reason alone, fuck you, Bass. You're not going to listen to this. I hope you lose. Wait, we're not even doing your game.
We're not.
Okay.
It's all about him, though, this game.
All right. So I hope, Damon, you get your fucking ass kicked.
I probably will.
So that Bass doesn't make the playoffs. That should be your punishment for not listening to the podcast or taking part in the Hangouts. I understand that Zach is hella racist, but that should be no reason for you to not take
Unfortunately, my brother doesn't listen and doesn't partake either.
part. Oh, God.
But he's the lesser of two evils, in my opinion.
He's not, though.
I know he's not at all.
All right.
Anyway, Zach, who do you think will win? All right, we'll get to Zach.
Your brother.
My brother
Needs to win. Yeah, he's he's been such a piece of shit for so long that I'd like to see him win, just so he can kind of taste victory.
Hey, and plus, what's his record?
I don't know. He is.
Ah, fuck it.
No, it's right here. I got it. He is 8.5 and 6.
Wow, winning records.
Well, see, the thing is, so I mean, yeah, and Bass is 8.5 and 7. So even if my brother lost and Bass won, if my brother got the half and Bass didn't, he would still get in. So I mean, he's got better, but my brother loses and Bass wins, he's in. If it's just that simple, so it's scary. So that brings us to our last game, which is the champ, WJ 69ers against the Hammer of Thor. WJ's projected to win 112-96 currently, which is scary because I believe he's probably going to beat Chris, which means my brother needs to defeat me. But once again, I as much as I want all this to happen, I can't in good conscience tank it. But also at the same time, my full lineup is the equivalent of tanking it. So go Chris Wilcox. Go out with a bang, you shit-talking bastard. Get your old division foe. What do you guys think?
So here's the thing. I want Wilcox to win for all the reasons that I just talked about, and also periodically Wilcox will slip me a pain pill, which is great. So for that reason, and because Chris, I knocked you out unconscious and out of the playoffs last week, I'm gonna go ahead and hope that you win, because I love you. Like more than friends.
Zach, who do you got?
I'm gonna have to second that. I also like Chris.
More than
He's
friends?
a good guy.
Yeah, he is.
He is a good guy.
Yeah.
Kind of talks a lot of shit, but he's all right.
He stopped talking shit when he started losing.
I know, he's been really quiet,
noticed that,
conveniently. Weird. But
MIA.
anyway, that's it. So, I mean, the two big games really are the Lee and Dick G's game and then the Bass and Michael. So really all the games have an effect one way or another. So exciting last week. Let's get a little shit talk before we go. So you two are playing each other, so why don't you guys have at it for a moment?
Let's hear it, Billy. What do you got?
I hope that you've got a lot of hate in your heart towards African Americans and Jewish individuals, and I just hope as we enter this holiday season, as we bring Christ, our Savior, into our hearts, I hope that you can find a spot or two in there to just recognize the good in jigaboos, even though it most of the time doesn't exist.
Well, mainly my beef is with the kikes. And if you're going to bring anyone into it, Jesus is the last one you should be bringing into it, because those fucking hook-nosed bastards condemned him.
Yeah, they did.
So.
Oh, boy.
Well, the earth is flat, and, I don't know. Fuck it. Earth is flat, and Billy's in the playoffs, baby. Let's do
What's
it.
going to happen is you're going to get your ass kicked one last time. One last time this week.
What two things to be
Dude,
true.
you're gonna be playing in the what do they call it, Damon? The loser bracket, right? That's what
I prefer consolation bracket.
No, I think it's
that's
called. I
fine.
think the official name is loser bracket. So you enjoy that. I'm gonna go ahead and play for real cheddar.
Well, you know what?
Yes.
Fuck you.
All right.
You win.
Well, thank you both. My brother's not gonna hear any of this, but you tried this year. It's paid off. You're not pathetic. Proud of you. Please finish off by beating me down. So keep Bass out of there. I feel I'm more worried than anybody else about Bass being in the playoffs, and if he does make it, when he runs fucking train on all of you playoff people, don't say I didn't warn you, and you should have given me the juju to help knock him out. But anyway, that's all. Good luck to everybody.
Can I make one more comment?
Yeah, you sure can.
I'm calling it right now. Papa Kleintop next year is going to be a serious contender. He's going to have a phone which will allow him to play free agency and actually make moves.
Well, that's great to hear.
And pick up players. And when he actually does that, instead of just playing the team that he drafts all year long, he's going to be a threat.
He is, because we've discussed how the draft isn't it. I have, a lot of us only have a handful of players, if any, from our draft. So it's very important. Real quick, actually, one thing before we go, guys, and then we're going to really be done. Who are your picks to get these last two spots? I guess we picked the games, so I guess that would make sense. So we all picked Meehan, right, to beat Lee, and then we all picking my brother to win in over Bass.
Hoping,
yeah. You should damn be hoping. You might be playing. Oh no, you wouldn't play Bass.
It doesn't matter who I play. I'll fucking.
Yeah. Anyway, we've talked enough. Goodbye, all. Thank you. Enjoy the weekend. Thanks for being on, Billy. Thanks for Zach just left. Goodbye, XO.